Are you looking for a teacher, guide, coach, instructor to help you with your English goals and to assist you with your English journey? If that's the case, I suggest that you watch this video in its entirety. A question that I commonly get asked is, I need to find a teacher, but I don't know what I should be looking for, the characteristics, the requirements. Have you thought about that? Were you that person? Well, if I was looking for a teacher, I want you to think about, say, what I'm going to call the top 3 criteria or suggestions when looking for a teacher. Criteria number 1, you want to look at the overall teacher's qualifications. Now, with respect to qualifications, I want you to consider 3 factors. Factor number 1, what is the teacher's overall educational experience? And when you think of educational experience, that will include, but is not limited to, informal education, formal education. What degrees does the teacher have? Do they have a bachelor's, master's, doctorate within the field of education, English, or teaching? Or do they have a degree outside of that? Now, within education, another factor that you might want to consider is, does the teacher have a teaching certification? Certain certifications are out there relating to teaching, such as CELTA, TEFL, TESOL. These certifications allow a teacher to teach English as a second language and/or English as a foreign language. Now, certifications to some individuals, some students, are important, and to others, they're not. But teaching certifications, CELTA, TEFL, TESOL, is something that you might want to think about. Factor number 2, under qualifications. What is the teacher's overall work experience? Now, if they've been a teacher, how long have they been a teacher? Where have they taught? Have they taught online, within a university, college, language school, even a private company? And other factors as it relates to work experience, does the teacher have work experience outside the field of teaching or education? For example, has that teacher worked for a private sector within the business industry? Have they been an entrepreneur? Perhaps they've worked for a NGO. Work experience is another factor that you might want to consider when looking for a teacher. The last factor that falls under qualifications. What is the teacher's skills and talents? That's right, skills and talents. Now, particular skills relating to teaching might include, but certainly not limited to, lesson planning, classroom management, eliciting techniques, providing feedback, both constructive and area development, overall knowledge with respect to grammar, vocabulary. Those skills are particularly, I believe, important as it relates to teaching. Some other skills that you might want to consider. Is the teacher a good listener? Are they patient? Do they have critical thinking skills? So, skills and talents both within the field of teaching and outside the field, the aforementioned skills I mentioned are important. So, when thinking about qualifications, I want you to remember the qualifications of a teacher should include education, work experience, and skills and talents. Criteria number 2 that you have an opportunity to think about. What is the method that the teacher uses in terms of helping you achieve your goals? Now, there are many, many, many different methods of teaching out there, such as the grammar translation method, the structured method, the audiolingual method, the communicative approach method. There are many different methods out there. But why is understanding the method that the teacher used important? Why? Because the method that the teacher uses will have a direct impact in terms of your acquisition of knowledge and you learning English. Basically, what am I trying to say? If the method that the teacher uses doesn't work for you, you're going to have a difficult time or certainly a hard time learning the language. What is the last criteria that I want you to think about as it relates to finding a teacher or coach? The P word, personality. Personality, the personality, temperament, demeanor of the teacher is extremely important. Why is the personality of the teacher important? If you and the teacher do not have a symbiotic relationship, if you don't have the same demeanor, if you don't feel a sense that you're able or that you feel comfortable with that teacher, it's going to directly impact your learning. Personality is key. There are teachers out there that are funnier than others, that are more strict. Some teachers laugh, some teachers don't laugh. But you have to find the personality of a teacher. You have to be in simpatico. Personality, I believe, is extremely important. So find a teacher that has a similar personality than you do. So, those are 3 criteria that I want you to think about. Qualifications, method of teaching, and personality. But you, the learner, you, the ATW family, do you have any responsibilities with respect to finding a teacher that works for you? A coach, a guide, an instructor, a mentor? Here is one thing that I would suggest. Whoever you choose, whoever you find to support you with your English goals and to assist you with your English journey, you have the responsibility. You should. Let me get closer. You must. I highly, highly recommend that before you pay a teacher for whether it is training and courses in an individual setting or group setting, you have the responsibility to interview that teacher. That's right. Interview that teacher. Get the teacher on the phone or a video call and interview the teacher. Ask that teacher, hey, can you explain to me your method of teaching? Tell me, what would a lesson consist of? How would you describe yourself? Do you have any references? You, the learner, have the responsibility to interview the teacher. I gotta be honest, I don't understand. Sometimes there are people out there that don't interview the teacher. They see a class, whether it's on social media, on an advertisement, on a website, and they sign up. Wait a minute. You're making an investment in yourself. You're paying good money. Don't you owe it to yourself to get in contact with that teacher and find out if they have the necessary qualifications that work for you? So do yourself a favor. You have a right. You have a responsibility. You are making an investment in yourself. You are paying money for a service because teaching is a service, it's a profession, it's a job. Interview the teacher. That is your responsibility. So there you have it. Those are my suggestions, criteria, with respect to, if you're looking for a teacher, things that you want to consider. Now certainly, if you have additional comments, feel free to make those comments in the comment section below. And if you're new, welcome to the ATW family. Click on that subscribe button and click on notification so that when I drop a video, you are made aware of it. This is Teacher Will. Welcome to the ATW family. This is the place where you and I, hopefully, we learn together. How? How, you ask? Well, let me remind you, in case you've been with me for a while, and if you're new, how do we learn? What's my approach? We learn through motivation, inspiration, through English. And never forget that motivation, inspiration, it starts with you, within you. Thanks for listening. Good luck in finding a teacher that works for you. Maybe it's me.